Put a pound in the cliche box. The Telegraph is talking about woke things.
Well, because it is a ridiculous thing. And you know what? Every time I read these stories, I get totally depressed. And I feel like I'm a policeman looking at sort of naughty pictures on the internet that I need like counseling after dealing with these stories, which is it says basically, they ask people, should they forcibly fire people for saying something not at work? Should they be fired from their job? And an 80-90% said, no, you shouldn't fire somebody. And they said, they asked people, do you think corporations make a political statement because they believe it or don't believe it? And 90% said the corporations don't believe it. So they don't like these kind of PC talk. But on the other hand, I know for a fact that people like other people to be nice to each other. And a lot of the PC, and I can't believe I'm going to defend PC, but sometimes you look at a person and you're glad that they have a name tag that says him or her, because you can't tell. And it could be quite embarrassing.
I find this, because I do a lot of this stuff in my day job, because I work with people on how to diversify their talent. So the minute you say you work in the area of diversity, there's one group of people say, oh, you know, woke, and there's another group of people who say, oh, marvellous. You know, so I'm in this territory a lot. The thing that I always say about this, you're absolutely right. Most people want life to be fair. They want other people to be treated decently, and whatever can be done to do that socially. Yeah. The problem, and what I think this research does illustrate yet again, it's the imposition of it. So if you decide that the way to be nice to people is, for instance, now, irrespective of the merits, I'm not going to comment on the merits of the pronoun question, but if you say to people, you will, or even we're going to, and therefore the social penalty for not doing it is quite strong, so people don't know how not to do it. What happens is, and I'm always saying this to chief execs and HR directors, the danger is you divide the company or the organisation. That's the problem with imposing it. So whatever you're going to do, you need to do it in a way that engages people so that you recognise difference, because that word diversity is about difference.
Yeah, but isn't it always going to be imposed? In an HR department, they've got an M next to the men and an F next to the woman, and maybe they have different things now.
But
so what's wrong with asking them to put that on their name tag?
I'm not talking about the rights and wrongs of doing it. I'm talking about the way in which it's done. And what you're finding is in companies is that the sad thing about diversity, which is about difference, it's becoming dangerously a tool of conformity. So it becomes a set of prohibitions. So it's all about what you can't do, and it's rules. And the thing about rules is that we have to debate them, decide them, and then we'll accept them. And often what happens is, from the very best of motives, people put it in on top of everybody, and then what you find is that they resist and it divides people, which is not the intention.
What I will say about the idea of pronouns on badges, I'm not even in favour of proper nouns on badges. Because, you know, when you go into a place and someone's got their name badge, I'm not going to use their name. There's nothing creepier than someone saying, "You're right doing your own packing?" "Yes, I am, Sandra." No one's just...
Well, I live in Brighton, so people always forget to take off their conference tags, you know, whatever, lanyards, those things. And what is really good fun is when you're in Boots, you go, "Hi, John."
What is a conference tag?
Lanyard.
What is it? Oh, a conference. A conference is like a political conference.
Do you know what? We'll do that on the separate podcast associated with this, defining all of the words in the show. Meanwhile, we'll move on.